Welcome to Silverlight Education. In this lecture, we will discuss about BZYCT 133 course, Block 4, Unit 16.
You know, the journey from fertilization to birth takes about 266 days, and what happens in that time is, well, nothing short of a miracle. We're talking about a single cell that multiplies and transforms into a complex person through this incredible process of division and differentiation. We're going to take a closer look at exactly how that happens.
Okay, so that really is the big question, isn't it? How on earth does one single cell build an entire human being? Well, it all kicks off with one tiny moment, a spark, that sets in motion maybe the most complex construction project on the planet. Let's trace this story right from the very beginning.
Our story starts with that first spark. It's a single moment where two separate cells, each one carrying half of a genetic blueprint, find each other and unite. And right there, that's the foundation for a brand new life.
So what is fertilization exactly? Well, technically, it's the moment a sperm and an ovum fuse to create one single cell, called a zygote. But believe me, this isn't some simple meeting. It's more like the finish line of an insane, high-stakes race against some pretty incredible odds.
To even have a chance at winning this race, sperm first get this kind of power-up called capacitation, which boosts their speed and strength. Next, they have to get through the egg's defenses. They release special enzymes in what's called an acrosomal reaction to try and digest a path through its outer layer. And here's the wild part. The instant one sperm breaks through, the ovum throws up this immediate shield. Bam! No one else gets in. It's an amazing security system to ensure a healthy start.
But fertilization is just the beginning. Now, this newly formed zygote has to set off on a really vital journey. This first week is all about survival, as this tiny cell has to travel to find a safe home where it can actually grow.
The pace of development here is just astonishing. As it travels down the fallopian tube, the zygote is dividing like crazy. By day 3, it's a solid little ball of cells called a morula. A couple of days later, by day 5, it's rearranged itself into a hollow structure known as a blastocyst. And by the end of 1 week, it has arrived at its destination and is already starting to implant in the uterine wall.
And what's amazing is that inside this tiny, week-old ball of cells, specialization has already begun. The blastocyst has two parts with two critical jobs. The inner cell mass, that's the blueprint that will become the embryo itself. And then you have the outer layer, the trophoblast, which is the life support system. It's already gearing up to form the placenta and provide all the nourishment. And get this, as soon as implantation begins, that outer trophoblast layer starts producing a special hormone called HCG. Does that sound familiar? It should. This is the exact hormone that home pregnancy tests are designed to detect. So this tiny biological signal is the very first confirmation that a new life is starting its journey.
Okay, so with a home now secured, the real construction work gets underway. We're now entering the embryonic period. This is an absolutely critical phase where the fundamental blueprint for the entire human body is laid down.
Development really happens in two main phases. First is the embryonic period, from week 2 to 8. You can think of this as the building phase, where all the major organ systems are constructed. After that, from week 9 until birth, it's the fetal period. That's the growth phase, where all those existing structures just get bigger and more mature.
Now, what's truly mind-boggling is that the entire complexity of the human body, every organ, every single tissue, originates from just these 3 primary layers. It's an incredibly organized system. The ectoderm builds the outside, like our skin, and our control center, the nervous system. The mesoderm creates our structure and our engine, so bones, muscles, and the heart. And the endoderm forms the inner linings of our core systems. Amazing. Development during this time happens at rocket speed. Just think about this. Only 4 weeks after fertilization, the very first organ system becomes functional. A tiny primitive heart actually begins to beat and pump blood. 4 weeks in.
Just 1 week later, you can see the first signs of external development. Tiny buds appear that will eventually become arms and legs, the very first outlines of the human form.
And by the end of the 8th week, the most critical construction phase is complete. Nearly all of the essential organs have started to form, and the embryo now clearly resembles a tiny human.
But it's so important to understand that this entire process, as amazing as it is also incredibly delicate.
The embryonic period, with so much happening all at once, is a time of extreme vulnerability.
You see, during this phase, the embryo is particularly sensitive to what are called teratogens. It's just a term for any external agent, like certain viruses or drugs, that can interfere with development and potentially cause defects. Because so many complex systems are forming all at the same time, this is considered the most high-risk phase of the entire pregnancy.
Now, these developmental problems generally stem from two main sources. Some are internal genetic factors, like chromosomal issues or inherited diseases, but others are external and environmental, things the embryo is exposed to, like maternal diseases or certain drugs.
And yet, after hearing about all that complexity and all the risk, here's the most amazing part. This incredible process works perfectly the vast majority of the time. It's a powerful testament to both the fragility and the profound resilience of life's beginning. So, as we wrap up, it really leaves you to reflect on this intricate, powerful, and truly awe-inspiring journey. It's a process that reminds us just how delicate and, at the same time, how incredibly strong life really is. This was your last unit of this course. We will meet you in another course.